This is Gary Hess and Gary Criswell from Sports Radio 910, where tonight our Kroger High School Game of the Week, the regular season finale, all LC Bird. 56-7. Clover Hill scored first, but they just didn't have enough bullets in the gun because banged up way too much Skyhawks.
And the Skyhawks are playing at a very, very high level right now. And as I said in the post-game interview with Coach Bedwell, they even look fresh. Yaki Johnson is... I think now should be considered the shoe-in for the player of the year in the Central Region. He's certainly the most productive player every time he touches the football, and he touches the ball a lot. And Bird looks really good getting into the playoff.
Yaki, over 2,000 yards this year, over 4,500 yards for his career, over 30 touchdowns this year. But tonight I was really impressed because he gets in the open field and can show the speed, but he's an amazing patient runner, waiting for the blocks to set up, and that's quite a combination.
It's quite a combination, and when you do what they do up front, as far as blocking and their offensive scheme, it's very effective. You know, he has a lot of time. He has a protector in front of him, whether they're running ISO plays or they're running the counter plays with the pulling guards or the backside tackle, their sweep game. They're constantly on the move, and he learns how to use that movement. And it's not something that high school defenders see on a regular basis, especially that much from the tailback position.
11 straight years Bird's been won or shared the Dominion District title. An amazing run. Dave
Bedwell's done a great job of building what the tradition that Ron Paquette and Dutch did before that here at a school that's got a tremendous football history, and he's done it with different types of athletes, different groups of athletes. He sent some guys to the next level. I think the only thing that's left is a real deep run in the playoffs. I don't know if this is the team to do it, but he certainly, those 11 years can't be ignored as a great achievement.
Hermitage finishes 10-0. Verina loses to Holland Springs tonight. The Springers get the belt. Verina still claims the Capital District. The Blue Devils go to the playoffs. The Skyhawks, of course, in. Thomasdale, Hermitage. It looks like the matchups are going to be Hermitage against Dale and Verina against Bird. That's unofficial, but right now going in, who do you see as the team to beat in Division 6?
Well, I think the Hermitage Panthers would love for me to pick against them, because I do every year at this time, and they run deep into the playoffs, and that's just a tribute to Coach Kane and his staff. But I now think that Hermitage could sneak out of this region and make some noise at the next level. Part of the intrigue is the hot team in the league is now in the Central Region is no longer the hot team in the Central Region. Holland Springs found a way to win the Beast in the East belt. Gotta love that title.
The belt.
The belt. And now they've slowed down a Verina team that was just running through teams that were going to be in, that are also going to be in the playoffs with them. So
whoever draws Verina is going to be watching that Holland Springs film very closely.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like it's going to be Loy C. Bird, and so you cannot count out the Skyhawks in a 3 or 4 game series, and that's what the playoffs are.
Very quickly, there's been a lot of talk about playoff expansion and all that. We'll save that for another day. Just a quick comment on the seasons that Cosby and Meadowbrook had, going 9-1 but not in the playoffs.
Well, I'm really glad you pointed that out, because that needs to be, that their accomplishments need to be highlighted. It's a great landmark for Cosby, and you know, it's just, and Meadowbrook, you know, excellence every year, almost, you know, playoff bound almost every year since the state championship, and Troy Taylor and his staff and his kids deserve all the accolades, and it will probably, I think it'll push the needle to a 6-team seed in the playoffs down the road, and it's well deserved.
Very quick comment on Lee Davis beating Atlee tonight to get in the playoffs, and now you've got Division 5 playoffs set up. Who do you like as the team to beat in Division 5 right now?
I mean, I think Atlee can get off the deck. I think they have the ways to beat you the most. They have the most balance on offense, and I think they can beat you the best way. But they've had some problems stopping the other team in recent weeks, and that concerns me a little bit, because you're getting into November, they're a little bit wide open on offense. You like to have defense to do that. So I think now it's almost throw a blanket over those 4 teams. Especially if Dinwiddie still gets in, I think you've got some teams that are coming on late, like Lee Davis. You got experienced teams in the playoffs like Dinwiddie and Hanover, and of course Atlee still holding on to the #1 seed, it appears.
One thing's for sure, the playoffs begin next Friday night, And Sports Radio 910 will be there. One of those games, it'll be a 7:30 kick. We'll be on at 7. The second season begins on Sports Radio 910 and sportsradio910.com. He's Gary Hess. I'm Gary Criswell on Sports Radio 910.